Yes, we are live. Welcome back, my dear friends. This is episode number 30 of Zero Point Healing Show. And in this show, we are going to talk about something amazing. And I was waiting for this show to come on. And it is about how we can heal ourselves by connecting with our spirit guides using Akashic Energy Healing. And I have with me Hector, who is I should say discovered this rather than creating. I think the best word here is discovering. So who discovered the Akashic Energy Healing with his own life journey. And this is going to be an amazing session that we are going to discuss about. But before we get started, a short intro about me. I'm Vishnupriya, and I'm a healer myself. I have been certified in multiple different modalities. And Zero Point Healing is a platform that I've put together for healers and therapists and like people like Hector, who have created something new for themselves, who have discovered new techniques and tools that can help humanity become better, as well as that can make this place of earth a better place to live. So if you are one among them, if you are a healer or a therapist or a facilitator who has something to contribute to this world, who has something to contribute to make humanity better, I welcome you to Zero Point Healing. And in this Zero Point Healing show, I interview these amazingly gifted people. They share their wisdom, everything that they've discovered in their lives, and the contribution that they are making. If you're interested for this kind of a show with me, please do contact me. All right, so I'm done. And now we are moving on to Hector. Welcome, Hector. Thank you so much. It's my absolute honor and pleasure to have you here finally after a long time. So tell us about you. Tell us about your story, and what made you enter into this spiritual world. Maybe if that's a good word for it.
Thank you, Vishnu. I really appreciate this great opportunity that you are giving me here to speak on your show. It has been a long journey for me. I've always been a very inquisitive person. I've always wanted to know the truth. It's a beautiful thing when you think about it. I became a healer through a personal experience of mine. My wife was pregnant with our fourth child, and she was going to do a home birth. I don't know if you know, but in a home birth, you don't have any medication, you don't have any of that stuff. And I have had experience with 3 previous births. So all 3 were at the hospital, and during that time, um, during those hospital births, my wife had gone through some complications, and she has gone through a great deal of pain because of these births. And the first one was a C-section. The second one, there was problems with medical negligence. The third one, she had hemorrhaging, and so I was very concerned. I was very concerned for her well-being and the baby's well-being. And so at the same time, I wanted to support her decision. And what I did was I started to do my research. I started to talk with professionals, medical professionals. I talked with hypnobirthing professionals. I also did hypnotherapists. And finally, I came to talk with energy healers. Unfortunately, none of them could reassure me or give me the answers that I was looking for. I wanted to help her with managing the pain in a natural way. And having a psychology background, I have had an opportunity to do some reading on some research that involved using the mind as a tool for anesthesia. And so these professionals that I spoke with, none of them knew how to achieve this goal of using the mind to lessen the severity of the pain. And from there, I decided that, you know, I had to do something. So I started doing research, more research, and I came across some information that I was able to utilize and create this healing modality. I use this modality to help my wife through the labor by reducing the pain, almost eliminating the pain. This modality involves contacting the higher self. The higher self is the connection to your inner universe as well as the external universe. And so I contacted my wife's higher self. And during these conversations and channelings that I would do with my wife, the higher self would tell me the limitations and the rules of this energy dimension. And luckily enough, she was able to point me in the right direction, the higher self, that is. And she reduced the pain by, I would say, about 90%. My wife she didn't have much pain at all. And not only that, we were able to look into the future to see the possible outcomes. There are infinite amount of possible outcomes in the future, but the higher self was able to relay the two most probable outcomes. One of those outcomes was that there was complications, there was hemorrhaging, and on the other timeline, there was no complications. And so I was able to work with the higher self to identify what changed. You know, what was the difference between those two timelines? And the higher self told me that there was a deficit in the body, that there was an iron deficit that was causing her to be anemic, and that needed to be corrected in order for her to have a successful birth. And sure enough, she told us that we needed to get an iron infusion. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't even know that existed. And I did some research, and sure enough, you know, medical professionals knew exactly what that was. And we requested an iron infusion. Days later, she received it, and the the big day came, and my wife had the baby. But let me tell you, during that labor and birth, which was a very short labor in comparison to the other three, you know, you're talking about 24 hours, 36-hour labors. This one was a 4-hour labor. And during the whole process, the higher self was able to check check the cervical progress for her. So we didn't have to have any kind of interventions, anything like that. The higher self knew exactly how much she was progressing and how soon that baby was gonna take to be here, you know. And she told us, you know, 2 hours before the baby arrived, she said, "You have about 2 hours." So we got everything ready. We got, you know, the pool ready because she wanted to have a water birth, and it was just an amazing experience, far beyond what I could have ever imagined. And from that moment, I recognized that there was potential, that there was something here that had never been, that I'd never seen before. And after that, I continued to do more research and more learning. And I adopted the higher self. Some people may call the higher self the spirit guide. Has many names. I think Dolores Cannon uses the term oversoul. You can even use soul, light being. I made the higher self my personal teacher. And from there, I was able to learn so much about this energy dimension, learn about what is going on around us that we cannot see with our physical eyes. Believe it or not, and this isn't to instill fear or anything like that. Believe it or not, there are intelligent energies all around us all the time. And a lot of those energies are dark, demonic in nature. I call them spiritual parasites. So, in my research, I would say that about 80% of all health issues originate at the energy level. And I use energy, spiritual interchangeably. So they originate at the energy level. Why is that? And I can, the way that I understand it is that these demonic energies cannot produce their own light. They are dark beings. Humans, on the other hand, they are light beings. What does that mean? A light being has the ability to create. A light being has the capacity to generate infinite source energy. And these dark entities cannot. So, in order for these dark entities to exist and survive, they must consume, they must extract energy from humans. And this energy extraction that takes place, and this is all happening at the energy level, because remember, we as humans, we are multi-dimensional beings. We don't only exist just in the physical, we exist in the spiritual and the physical. The only problem is that when you're born here in the physical, you don't have much contact with the spiritual. But it's true. It happens. It's there. And so these entities, they take advantage of that. They take advantage of people not being able to see them. They take advantage of working in the dark, you could say, and they will attach themselves to a person's energy field. When they do that, the energy extraction that occurs can have physical side effects at the physical level, meaning you can start to experience anxiety, you can start to experience panic attacks, you can experience sleep disorders, sleep paralysis, pains, aches, infertility. I've seen so many cases, especially with infertility. These entities, for some reason, they like to extract human sexual energy. And this sexual energy is not just, used for pleasure. This sexual energy is creator energy. That energy is used to procreate. So that energy has a lot of potential. And these dark entities know that that energy is very powerful. And so they extract that energy. That energy extraction can cause physical side effects in women, such as polycystic ovarian cysts. It can also cause erectile dysfunction in men. It can cause a whole array of physical symptoms. Of course, there are symptoms that are caused by, nutrition, that are caused by genetics, that are caused by physical, uh, physical exterior things. And so that's what I was taught, and that's how I became a healer. I learned all these things through my higher self, and I've helped a number of people get rid of these energy parasites by helping them connect with their true side, with their true inner self, and so that they can also recognize who they truly are and their infinite potential.
That is amazing. Wow, I really loved how you entered, and thanks for sharing your vibes story and how this has helped you bring in this new modality. So tell us about the session itself. Let's say I'm coming to you for an Akashic Energy Healing session, and
Mhm.
tell us about how a session would look like, and how can I connect, as how the title goes, how to connect with your spirit guide. How does Akashic Energy Healing help you connect with your spirit guide or your higher self, and how does the healing happen?
Mhm. Basically, a session. This is all done online. I have a Skype account that I use to communicate with people. We set up a video call. During that video call, I have the person write up a list of all the things that they want to investigate, all the things that they want to heal. And so we'll go through the list. And then afterwards, I guide the client into a very simple relaxation. I simply count using my voice from 10 to 1, and the person is able to visualize. When I say visualize, I mean they're able to see images using their mind's eye. They're able to visualize the energy dimension. And this is the most important, the most important thing, because if you cannot see what's going on, there's no way that you can correct it. And so the visualization, in combination with the guidance and the knowledge that I have gained from this energy dimension, all ties in, and I'm able to guide that person to visualize their higher self. And once we establish communication with the higher self, then we have access into the person's inner being. We have access to subconscious. We have access to all the energy bodies. Um, there's infinite energy bodies depending on the person. For example, me, I have 5 energy bodies. Other people may have 3, but majority of people have at least 2 energy bodies. One is the higher self, and one is the emotional body. So having that information, you're able to get help from the higher self to look into your subconscious. The higher self will guide you into the things, into the moments, into the traumas that need healing. And usually during those traumatic events that happen, it could be early childhood or even a past life. If you have traumatizing events in your past, those events trigger your energy to drop, because remember, everything in the universe is energy, frequency, and vibration. And we have our own frequency, we have our own vibration. These dark entities, they live in a lower vibration. Humans live on a higher vibration. And when you are in fear, when you are in sadness, when you are anxious, your vibration changes. And so these entities, during those traumatic events, they like to take advantage of your energy frequency dropping, and they'll actually create a connection with you. They'll create a connection. And once that connection is established, they can start to extract your vital energy. And so the higher self has the ability to tell you what's going on. The higher self it's pretty amazing, actually, because you can talk with the higher self as if I was talking with you. It's a back and forth conversation, and the higher self will tell you, yes, you have this, for example, you have this entity that's been with you for 20 years. And then you ask the higher self, well, what is that entity doing? And most of the time they'll say, it's extracting this type of energy, and it's causing this particular pain, or it's causing this physical problem in you. And this I guess you could call it, this creation, is the way God wanted it to be. And when I say God, I mean in very broad terms, because my understanding of God may not be, you know, your understanding of God. But to me, there is a creator, and I consider, you know, the universe to be that that creator. Um, and so majority of people, and I would say about 90% of people have the natural ability to go into the spiritual dimension and visualize all these energies with the correct guidance. There is a small percentage, 10% of people have difficulty visualizing, and some cannot visualize at all. There is a way around that, and I can, you know, I can talk about it a little bit, but we use a third person to visualize for them, and that third person will connect to that person's energy field and work, you know, with their permission, work in their energy field to cleanse themselves of all these dark entities. And they can even look at traumas. The higher self has that ability to erase traumas. Now, when I say erase, it's not like it, you know, it'll erase your memory. It's not like that. It'll still be there at the physical level. Your memory will still remember it, but at the energy level, you won't feel the same pain as if you, you know, as before. So you would still remember it, but you won't feel anything associated with that trauma. And I've helped many people, my wife including. She lived through a lot of abuse as a child, a lot of sexual abuse, and I was able to help her eliminate all that trauma little by little. You can't do it all at once, but it'll be too much. It'll be too much for the body, and so you might get really bad mood swings and things like that. But gradually, we can work with the higher self to eliminate a small percentage, and then give it some time, and then another small percentage. And so far, it's been real successful, and I've seen a lot of you know, there's no other word, miracles happen. And so I'm very excited to share this with the world. I'm very excited to be able to help people heal and meet their spirit guide, so that spirit guide can show them the way. Because once you meet your spirit guide, you can do this by yourself. We are all healers. We all have that capacity to heal ourselves. And so the spirit guide is actually your intuition. It communicates through your intuition, gives you feelings, gives you premonitions, gives you dreams. And I guess you could call your higher self your guardian angel as well. So we'll just leave it at that.
Yes, so of course we are going to go to the healing, but before that, just a quick question and something that can be clarified. When you say higher self, spirit guide, guardian angel, can you tell us how different or distinct are we when compared to them, or is it all one, as we discussed before the interview?
So the difference between the physical and the energy body is that we operate out of logic. So when we decide to be born here on earth, part of us stays in the spiritual, and the other part comes down to the physical. The part that comes down to the physical is our logical consciousness, I'd like to call it. And so we go about our day using our logic. You know, we emphasize the logic mainly through the education system, through just living in, you know, a normal life. You use mainly your logic. And so the spiritual side is your intuition. And typically, women have more connection to that energy side, to that intuitive side, typically, but not always. And so there is a big difference, because I like to consider the physical as having two parts. You have the logical, and then you have the subconscious. The subconscious operates in the physical body, but the subconscious can also operate in the energy dimension. It's like right in the middle. And then once you cross over to the other side, then you have the energy bodies, which is your higher self. And then, you know, however energy bodies the person may have. And these energy bodies are your creation, depending on what you want to experience here on Earth, depending on your past lives, what you've experienced in the past. That's how many energy bodies you will have, because these energy bodies are there to serve you. For example, on my side, I have 5 energy bodies. I'll describe a few. I have an energy body that specializes in wisdom. So I'll go to him and I'll channel him and I'll talk with him, and he has a lot of wisdom that I don't have in my physical self. You know, this is wisdom that comes from the universe, wisdom that comes from, you know, doing exploration here on Earth. And then there's another energy body that is intelligence. And then this intelligence body specializes in something else. You know, particularly in me, this energy body specializes in working with creating new techniques to eradicate these dark beings, these dark entities that are all around us at all times. So we've created some, I like to call it etheric technologies that I use when I heal. These etheric technologies range from protection to turning these dark beings into, you know, happy, loving uh, beings that want to cooperate with you. So we've established this technology prior to the healing, and during the healing, we can use that technology to facilitate the healing process. Yeah.
That's That's
It's interesting,
beautiful.
isn't it?
Yes, it is. So let's move on. But I really love the way how you said um, we as human beings, and then it is just our own inner side of us, which is the higher self, and maybe whatever name we call it as higher self, spirit guide,
Hmm.
guardian angels. So I like the fact how you said it is not your higher self, or your spirit guide is not separate from you. It is you
Exactly.
yourself on the other side, and therefore
Exactly.
connecting to yourself should be an easy process. It's not somebody else that we are connecting to. So let's get started. We are off
Correct.
time, but that's okay. Let's have 10 minutes for the healing that you are doing. And you can do it for the viewers together, just a relaxation meditation, as you were
Okay.
mentioning.
Yeah. Yeah. We can try some out. Yeah. Okay. So anybody that wants to try this, go ahead and close your eyes, get comfortable, and once you are comfortable, take in a big breath of air and feel the air in your lungs. I will simply guide you into a relaxation using my voice. I will count slowly from 10 to 1 as you relax. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, I will count to 3. And at the count of 3, your higher self, which is you, only at the spiritual level, will be in front of you. 1, 2, 3. Communicate with your higher self. Talk with him or her. Say hello and see what your spirit guide or higher self responds. He or she is there for you, to give you guidance, to give you a message. Listen to that message. Vishnu, what do you see? Breathe in and feel your own energy flowing naturally, beautifully. Now, I'm going to guide you into a simple exercise. Imagine a shower, and out of this shower head, you have energy flowing through it. Your own energy, your own infinite source energy. Jump in the shower and bathe yourself with your own energy. Recharge every cell down to the smallest mitochondria. Heal every cell. Rejuvenate, revitalize all your cells. Feel that warmth coming from that shower head. Cleansing, raising your frequency. You feel lighter and lighter. You feel strong, powerful. You see your true light shining. Now, you are fully charged of your own infinite source energy. I will count to 3, and there will be an explosion of energy which will cleanse your field. Any dark energies will be eliminated by the high frequency explosion you're about to emit. 1, 2, 3. Very good. Your energy field has been cleared and you feel lighter and lighter. You are very strong. You are a powerful goddess. Now, once again, we will start coming back to this present moment where my voice is. I will count to 3. And at the count of 3, you will open your eyes. 1, you are lighter and lighter. You are very happy. You are very strong. And your body begins to reincorporate itself. 2, you are even lighter, even happier. You are ready to take on any challenge. And your body is fully aware. 3, open your eyes. Vishnu, tell me, Vishnu, what did you feel? What did you see?
Ooh, that was nice. It was a different experience where I think it's all about setting intention, because usually
Yes.
when whether it is past life regression or in any other kind of modalities that we have seen, there's usually a very long time, very long script of regression that takes place in order to get us to, connecting with higher self, or whether going to our past lives. But that was beautiful that just by the 10 count of 10 you can do that, and it's all about the
Yeah, yeah.
intention.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. It's all about relaxation. You had a guest on here that mentioned, I think it was a few nights ago, he mentioned that relaxation, meditation, and hypnosis were the same thing.
Yeah.
I kind of agree. I kind of agree, except hypnosis has a bad reputation, mainly because of the stage hypnosis that everyone has been accustomed to seeing on television, where these stage hypnotists take possession of your consciousness, take possession of your will, and there's it's that's not hypnosis. That's to me that is a demonic possession. So but it's true that relaxation, meditation, and hypnosis are very similar because your brain is operating in those theta brainwaves, and you have access to the energy dimension. And this was intended by the creator to be this way, so that everybody had access to this energy dimension, so that they could cleanse themselves, heal themselves at the energy level, and that will ultimately manifest at the physical level.
Wow, that was amazing. Thank you so much. So we are going to have Hector's link in the comment box below, so please click on it. And if you're interested to do this amazing miraculous session with him, please do contact him, and we have a special 10% off discount coupon code for you, which is 0 point. You can mention that to him, and all the services that he's offering are in the link below. So I hope you really enjoyed it. It was one of a session, totally unique and different. Thank you so much, Hector, for sharing so much. And wow, it was a fantastic healing as well that you did for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vishnu. If I may say something real quick, I do have a YouTube channel where my clients who see a big change in their life want to share this with other people. So they give me permission to share these sessions on my YouTube channel. Every week I add a number of new videos, healing sessions, and they are all full of very interesting information, because we do channelings, we talk with deceased loved ones, we do investigations on the demonic entities that are attached to the person, we eradicate them. So there's a whole bunch of amazing footage on my YouTube channel. If you go to my website, energyhealingvibe.com, there is a link there that you could click on to go to my YouTube channel, energyhealingvibe.com. Thank you, Vishnu.
Sure.
I really appreciate this opportunity,
Thank
and
you.
you know, wonderful work that you're doing. I would like to congratulate you on this wonderful platform that you have created for all the healers and for the people who are, looking for that right modality for them.
Yes, thank you so much, Hector. It was a pleasure. My dear viewers, you have his link in the comment box below, and I'll see you in the next show. I hope you liked it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please share and subscribe to the channel so this information can reach as many people in the world as possible. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you, Hector. Bye-bye.